So in the first level, which is Greatest Kingdom in Middle Earth, there's a lot of different optimizations and strategies you can do for this level. So we're going to start off this first run through is going to be the basics of the level. So you start off, you need to hit those two front objects twice and then break the back ones 3 times to be able to build this platform. And then you're going to hit the stone. You have to hit the stone and then press A to cancel it. Then switch to Thrain and switch characters to him. Thrain's the only character that can move that stone, which needs to be done to progress through the room. And then you're going to make your way down the stairs here. Pretty simple movement. This time around, you're going to make your way down the stairs, and when you get to about the last silver studs, you want to do a jump dive. The reason for that is you can move further during the forced camera pan, where you're forced to stop. As you get a little bit closer to the object that you need to break, you then break that object, throw it at the target, and you can go through into the next room. And straight away in the first room, you want to switch characters, because again, Thrain can only break or can only hit these moving pillars. You're then going to jump up with Thrain across to the far one and stand on that, then switch characters back to Thorin. Thorin's moved into a good position to jump onto the second one. The second one of those like handle things, and then you're going to do gem skip. The way we do gem skip, line up where the light turns to dark, and then jump dive and immediately pause, drop out with that character, and go about. So you need to have both players dropped in by the time you get to gem skip. And now we have the second way of looking at doing this room. I'd say this is the more advanced way of doing it. These first few rooms. So what you're going to do, move across. You're going to be cutting the corner as much as possible here by jumping. Then you do the same things. So breaking the front ones 2 times, the back ones 3 times. 2, 3. Cool. Then you're going to build the moving block. Hit the statue, and the moment you hit the statue, you can be spamming the A button to be able to basically close the text box and switch immediately. So it's like you press X to hit it, A, and then immediately start holding Y to switch characters. Now what you're going to do here, you can roll up against a railing to get boost. You're also going to jump on the railing up here just to take a quick shortcut around there. And then same again, jump dive through the cutscene trigger. Get as close to the end as possible. And then throw that up. And player 2's been dropped in now. Actually, at the end of this cutscene, it's quicker to do this because player 2 is released from the force camera pan much quicker. So player 2 is going to be much quicker before player 1 can move. And then you're going to do 1P2C here. So you're going up with player 2 to be able to break the thing. And then you've got to jump up and try and get both of them on at the same time. That takes a decent amount of practice. But if you get it, it's really useful. Now, this gem skip is going to be a lot more YOLO, so not stopping. But again, as long as you make sure you're just behind where the floor changes from light to dark, when you start the jump dive, you should be in a good position for gem skip. Now we go on to the next room. Again, player 2 can move a lot earlier here, so player 2 is going to come and grab the whistle. Player 1 is going up to collect some resources. In this room, you need 4 wood, 2 rope, 2 stone, and 4 copper, I think. The stone and copper are pretty easy. The one you really got to make sure about is the wood, because it can be a bit random. The game can drop anywhere between 1 and 4 wood per object you break. So you've got to, obviously you want it as high as possible. So you're going to collect the wood with player 2, and then you have mining with player 1. It's quicker to get perfect hits here as much as possible. Also, once the hammer is connected with the target, you can press B immediately, and that like cancels the animation after the swing, which is quite nice. And this building takes a lot of practice, so you've just got to memorize what pieces you need and then try and find them, because anywhere on the 8 wheel they are always random. So obviously the quicker you can do this, the more you can save, but that's just practicing more than anything. You also need to hold down right trigger the entire time to build. And then go down for the mining. Ideally, you want to look for the mines where you can get perfect hits all the time. It's up to which player which perfect hits they find consistent. If you can't get perfect hits, or if you miss a perfect hit, it's quicker to just mash through the next 2 hits rather than doing anything else. And this is Dory skip. So to do this, you can only do this with player 2. You're going to move with player 2, and then jump onto. There's a slight ledge you can jump on there, and then you can jump dive over the rocks just before the invisible wall appears. It's a tough trick to get, but if you can do it, and that's good. And then that room also has a backup, so if you go for Dory skip, again, try and jump on the ledge. Actually got the ledge this time, but then fell off. So instead, you're going to break this with Dory like you would casually. Activate the trigger with your player 1. And then we're going to do a buddy up fly. So the way to do a buddy up fly is when your characters are buddied up, if you do not press anything on the D-pad while the spin animation, the attack animation is starting and ending, then you're able to hover basically infinitely forwards. In this case, do 6 attacks coming towards the camera, and then hold down after the 6th attack, and that allows you to go over the death plane and skip that section. Now, with a bit more 1P2C here, yeah, you just got to collect this with Dory. You're then going to build this moving platform with Barlin again, and that allows Dory to get closer to the door, and then break the door and go through. Here, you want to, with Dory, you want to hold a very specific up and slightly left angle. It's not quite up left, but it's not straight up either, to try and be able to make your way along the path. Otherwise, Dory has the potential to get stuck inside some objects, which isn't good. So while Dory's doing this, you want to get a vertical buddy up on player 1. A vertical buddy up saves like 3 seconds, so it's more beneficial to get, and you have a couple of times to try it. You're then going to hover again all the way to the end over here. Ideally, you can cross this entire gap in 9 hovers. A 10 hover is safe. And then make your way, so that was a nice 9 hover. And then, because you're vertically buddied up, Thorin actually automatically grabs the top chandelier part, and then that makes it a lot easier. But yeah, so that's Greatest Kingdom done. There isn't much to talk about in the auto-scroller. I think it saves like a tiny bit of time if you hug the left wall here to avoid getting the mini-kit. That's about all the time you can save in this section. So yeah, hug the left wall, you avoid getting the mini-kit, which is where the blue stud usually is in the middle. This is done on a replay story file, so it's not shown up, but then, yeah. First level done.